All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good people. This is your Man Out Music. I'm coming live to you today uh, with more or less a mastering tutorial, mixing tutorial, and I got a hit from a guy, TaylorMadeBeatz. That's my guy. I've been following him for a while. He's been following me. He's just likes my music. I like his music. I really like what he does. He's located out in South Africa, and he sent me an actual track he wants me to mix and master. And I told him, hey, let's get that done, man. I said I want to do a tutorial on mixing and mastering within reason. And he's like, let's do it then. So here it is today, man. My man TaylorMadeBeatz. He sent a track. It's called CareFree. We're going to mix and master this session. We're going to get right into it. All right. The very first thing that I'm actually going to do is I actually go and actually listen to the track to see what the track is what it has in it. Simple stuff. I'm not going to play the whole track. You want to get a gist of what's going on in the track. You can better sense it that way. So first of all, what he has going on is he busts out his drums, which is great in mixing, so you can control and have a better sense of what's going on with those particular instruments in that. But I would have took it a step further, and I would have bust out not just the drums. I would have bust out the keys. I would have bust out the bass. Certain instruments I would have bust out, and then I would have took the bus channels and bust those channels out into a mix bus. So let's dive into doing just that and a couple of other things. I hear a few things in the actual track that I would actually do. I don't know what's this one going on. I think this may be that guitar. Yeah. So you hear a little peaks in the guitar, so let's deal with that. All right. So he has nothing in the actual channel itself, so what I would do is go in and let's listen to that guitar. And let's just add an EQ in there. Well, let's see if he might have EQ'd it on. Yes, he did. So let's go in and that high sharp, let's bring that down just a tad bit. So far, so good. It's sounding great. TaylorMade, you did an excellent job just in leveling your actual tracks. And that's one of the keys to a better master, is that you make sure that before you send it to the mastering engineer, that you've done your due diligence in making sure that the levels are at least even on the actual track itself. Because sometimes if you got to go in and adjust those things, and you've sent the 2-track to the mastering engineer, it's kind of difficult to kind of work with those particular sounds that may be more prominent in the track that you want to lower, and you can't sometimes do that because you have to lower the whole volume of the whole track itself, opposed to lowering just that particular instrument in the track. Fortunate enough for me, TaylorMadeBeatz actually sent the whole Reason project file to me, just to kind of go in and make adjustments to the actual track. So that's a blessing in itself. Let's get back to it. Okay, we have also in there the drums. Let's deal with that specifically. The first thing I would do on these particular drums is kind of bring out the highs just a little bit in there and notch out a few things. So for this, we're going to use the M class EQ within reason to kind of do that. And we're just going to up the high shelf just a little bit. Just subtle movements. That's what you want to do. You want to create subtle movements within the actual track itself. You don't want to overpower the track with things, but you want to bring out some of those things. So let's listen to it with everything in it, and you can see the difference. And we'll do an A-B on the drums with it. That's on. That's off. That's on. That's off. Nothing too heavy, but it's subtle movements that you're creating within that track. And basically what you want to do, especially in my case with this particular track, he's done a great job in actually leveling the tracks evenly across the board. And all I'm doing is going in and I'm kind of fine tuning some of those things within the tracks to give the track that much more power. So what I've done is boosted the shelf on the high end a little bit, and I boosted the shelf on the low end a little bit. And as you can see, there's a little slight dip in the 2000 range starting, and it dips down and goes into that. So basically what I'm doing is shelving out just those frequencies that I want to hear more prominent in the drum tracks, because the bass is there. Let's get back into it. Okay, so what I've just done is I added a pulverizer to that knock that you hear in the actual track, and what it's actually doing is I'm looking for the fine pieces of transients in the actual track that's kind of buried in there, and just kind of have that thing knock a little bit. And the pulverizer does an excellent job with actually almost like bringing out those, just by simply just applying the pulverizer to any of your tracks, gives it that warmth, but it also allows you to kind of fine tune some of those things that's in the actual track. So let's check it out together.
TaylorMadeBeatz.
What I've done is I actually put a filter on top of that to give it a little bit more of a low end, but also to add a little bit more clarity in the actual kick itself. So you'll hear it when I play it all together.
TaylorMadeBeatz.com.
And you can hear that in there. So the next thing that I would probably do in this track is let's go and do this. Let's go back to what I was saying with the grouping of the actual tracks itself. What you have here is several tracks, okay? Now, some of the files I didn't get during the when TaylorMade actually sent me the actual track, because I didn't have certain VSTs that he was using. He's like, well, you know, let's go. We'll send that later. So this is really for demonstration purposes, and he's allowing me to use his track for that purpose, to show you guys what you can do to actually bring your tracks kind of to life and really kind of give it that much more oomph to the track itself. And towards the end of this video, I'll actually play the actual version of the track, or you can go to his website, because he'll definitely have it up, and there'll be a description and a link below that you guys can actually check out and click on it. He's a dope producer. He's out of South Africa. That's my guy, and he's been doing this for a little while. And check him out. So let's get back into this mixing and mastering session. Okay, what I've done was I've taken all of the channels from the bus and all of the channels after the bus, and I've grouped that into one mix bus channel. And what that's allowed me to do is have better control over the actual mix itself, and then I can go in and fine tune things. And what I've done was I've opened up the actual mix bus, and on the mix bus I've added the Centerpiece EQ and a pulverizer to that. And the pulverizer, basically, I'm using the pulverizer as almost if it was a compressor, which is allowing the tracks to have a little bit more warmth, but also to glue that entire track together so that everything can kind of sound cohesive. So let's take a listen now, as you can see, and we can actually A/B these particular pieces within the actual mix itself. Let's go. Now, another thing that I would do to the particular track, what I'm going to do is we're going to go and we're going to flip this rack around. So we just hit tab and we do that. And we're going to go all the way up to the master section. Excuse me, master section. And we're going to create, you know what I'm going for, the ECF 42. We're going to hold shift and create that because we don't want it to actually auto route itself. Okay. Then we're going to take the control room out into the left-right input of the filter. Then we're going to take the output and we're going to put that into the master section. We're going to sidechain that and automatically see the key pop on. We're going to flip this around. And basically what we're going to use is basically just these two controllers here. And you'll see what I'm talking about, okay? So right now, it's nothing, okay? It's feeding in there, but it's not really doing too much anything, okay? And watch when I turn this on. Nice and clear. attack a little bit. Automatically, you can hear the difference in the actual track. And I would go in and I would fine tune a few of the pieces on there, but I wanted to show you guys that because this actual mix bus compressor is powerful on Reason. The mix bus compressor is very, very powerful. And if you use it correctly on your tracks, you can achieve a level of loudness that you possibly could not get just by any old compressor in a sense, okay? Because this compressor takes it and it kind of glues everything or put everything in its rightful place. I should say that. So this is kind of what I would kind of end up with, and I would fine tune a few things, but I'm keeping this tutorial short. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel, ODDMANOUTMUSIC. I do tutorials on mixing and mastering, and particularly within Reason itself, Reason 9.5 and up, version 10 as well. I'm also a propeller head developer, so I will be developing some things that will be out towards the end of the year for hip hop production, the EDM, pop, whatever that you do. But nevertheless, big up to TaylorMadeBeatz for sending this this track to me and then allowing me to use it as a demonstration. I will be sending him his master in the next couple of days. But for those who want to get into this, go back to my other tutorials on mixing and mastering and download some of my templates. Those templates will not be up for free too much longer, so get it. I also apply sounds, I should say supply sounds within my templates. So go out, get those templates. They're free. They won't be free for long, but go and get them. Support my man TaylorMadeBeatz. There'll be a description and a link with his YouTube, his website where you can purchase his beats and things like that. He is a dope producer, and if you don't believe me, check him out. Check his site out. He's from South Africa. Big up to South Africa, my people over there that support me. And man, congratulations on everything that you're doing. To my fellow followers and my fellow Reason users, big up to you guys. And I look forward to doing other things like this with you guys' music. But nevertheless, this is ODDMANOUTMUSIC giving you another tutorial. Thanks a lot, TaylorMadeBeatz, and I'm out.